गति देने के लिए प्रोफेसर B.K.Jha सर को आमंत्रित करता हूँ। B.K.Jha सर।
Honorable Principal of this Retd Studying College, and the forward-looking students, I am really glad to have cast my eye on the beaming faces of the new set of students who have been fortunate enough to obtain their admission in this college, Retd college, so to speak. And I choose to speak in English not because I have been professor of English both of Central College and Vinoba, Bhave University. My intention is to set you to the track of the English speaking, so that in time to come, if somebody delivers his lecture or speech in English, you do not have any difficulty in counting upon them and giving them a proper response. Never think, my dear students, that English is a language which must be supposed to be very tough to understand and very difficult to follow. Not at all. The question is that your desire should be uppermost to have been adept in English language, especially the spoken English course. The lecture series, which is getting its initiation today by the name of Swatantara Sangram, this series is being conducted on the occasion of Amrit Mahotsav, which is being organized at different places of this country for the past so many months. It is very compatible and appropriate to give you to your knowledge that in the freedom struggle there have been heroes who have been very generous, courageous, sincere, righteous, upright, and all that in order to put the country on the track. They had to go from the roller coaster roads of struggle and difficulties. But they were pioneers. They just paved the way for the independence of this country. We being at the moment in B.K.Jha Teacher Studying College should be primarily concerned with education. And I must say, spade is spade, that education is the only concern that we should have been concerned with. Students, you have to study and you have to employ yourself into different kinds of researches. But at the very outset, I must let you know that education is the legacy of our freedom struggle, which we have been pulling on in different aspects with different strengths, tints, colors, and hues. You must try to ingrain yourself in those things so much so that when the occasion demands, you are able to come forward with your new researches in this aspect, and could come forward with some names with the Principal Sahib has just enunciated to put up in time to come. I think I shall not go into the details of those heroes who have been doing much, who have toiled much, who have struggled hard in order to bring this country to the fore of freedom. But then, one thing I must add, because in the capacity of a professor of literature, I must bring or infuse in your mind that literature has a great role to play in spreading the education in the right direction. And I must say that literature is primarily concerned with values. Values are something which are indefinable, but which is actually a product of the conflict of the society in which the people are struggling for social justice and other things in life. I am fortunate enough to just put before your mind that literature is the only genre of study in which you find that it is a reservoir of potential values of everybody's life in this country. Now, you have to just put up and orientate your mind to the different branches of study, so much so that you come to know your pioneers at close quarters, like Subhash Chandra Bose, Pandit Nehru, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Radhakrishnan, and others who have imparted their invaluable contribution to the freedom struggle. And not to say the list of Mahatma Gandhi, who was actually at the helm of affairs and who gave actually blessings to all the persons who have been coming to the fore to give their contribution in their own capacities and in their own strength. My students, I think yours is the first lecture that you have been listening to today, and I have been here to just construct a premise for you in which you will be able to prepare yourself for other studies in this subject. The subject matter is not so important as the delivery, and therefore formulation of voice, your vision, your other capacities and compatibility will count much in order to give you that strength of delivering something fruitful and constructive in life. I find that some of these students have their beaming faces with national pride, and you have the capacity to beat the negative aspects of life. You are very positive, and I think in time to come you make it a point to see that every aspect of life, every work that you employ yourself into must be on the line of employing yourself in the right way, so that you could just inculcate something of immense value to the life of everybody that comes into contact. Students, this life is very invaluable and life is immense, and you must bear in mind that truth, knowledge and enlightenment are the very immaculate conception of God Himself. There is possibility of missing the woods for the trees, and at times we have to be alarmed at many points and to go into the right point of study, and you find that these things are of immense value when you come to construct your life on the positive way of going up stairs in life. So you have to be on the guard. You have to see that the nation is a thing for which you should be ever prepared to keep it in right earnest, and that is possible only when the students are also ready to give their powers in their own capacity with utmost strength that is there in your capacity. You have been here to become teachers after getting some education of important aspects of life. You will be able to impart these to others, and for which you have to see that you are yourselves so prepared, so constructed, that you are able to have the fund of virtues like generosity, magnanimity, moral strength, and after all, the ethos of the culture and civilization of this country. You have to be adept in all the aspects of this. So in order to have a real study of that, you will yourself have satisfaction of your own life when you feel that these things are very essential in life. And right from this time onwards, I mean from today onwards, you have to make a vow that you shall be studying in such a way that every day, every moment, you are equipping yourself with something very fundamental in life. And last of all, I must try to infuse in your mind one piece of advice, that try to get by heart the very preamble of your constitution, and then try to dissect it, and then decode it, what is there by way of essence in that preamble. Whenever we have time to come together on the next occasion, I shall be having a discussion and debate and discourse to have that important spirit which is embedded in the very golden pages of the preamble of this constitution. Our constitution is the only way, the only virtue, the only spirit of this nation, on the basis of which we shall be able to have a great and enormous building of nations' repute and nations' progress and nations' what you call well-being, so that the spirit of welfare state and the welfare of the social justice and all that is needed for all the citizens of your life, especially one which is really sitting in the last bench or in the last corner of this country, they must be benefited in such a way that we have that sense of equanimity in our country, in our nation. This is the only way to redeem the ills of this nation, and only then we shall be happy to have free breath of